Aluminium is Hello dear students of class 10th, welcome to geography class. I hope all of you are doing well. Students, in this video, I shall be continuing with the 5th chapter of geography, that is minerals and energy resources. Students, in the previous video, I explained you about non-ferrous minerals. Non-ferrous minerals are the metallic minerals that do not contain iron. I explained you this, and I explained you about copper. Copper is a non-ferrous mineral. I also told you that India is not rich in copper. Actually, India is deficit in copper production. That means sufficient quantity of copper is not produced in India. But copper is a very important mineral. So since it is a very important mineral, it is imported from other countries to India. So I hope till here points are clear to everybody. Now students, let's come to the next non-ferrous mineral, that is bauxite. Now students, do you know bauxite is the ore of aluminium? Yes, please remember that bauxite is the ore of aluminium. Now how aluminium is produced or extracted? See, from bauxite alumina is produced, and then alumina is processed and aluminium is obtained. Okay, this way aluminium is obtained from bauxite, since bauxite is the ore of aluminium. You understood how aluminium is obtained from bauxite. Now let me explain you that how the deposits of bauxite are formed. What is the process, how they are formed? See, the deposits of bauxite are formed by decomposition of a wide variety of rocks that are rich in aluminium silicates. Okay, so bauxite deposits are formed by the decomposition of wide variety of rocks. A wide variety of rocks are decomposed, and what kind of rocks are decomposed? The rocks that are rich in aluminium silicates, they are decomposed, and then bauxite deposits are formed. So I hope you understood that how bauxite deposits are formed and how from bauxite aluminium is found. Okay, it is formed. Now students, let's come to the characteristics of aluminium. See, we are studying bauxite, but since bauxite is the ore of aluminium, so we will be studying about aluminium also. So let me come to the characteristics of aluminium. See, aluminium has the strength of iron. That means it is a very strong mineral. Aluminium is a very strong mineral, as well as it is light in weight. It is very light, and it is a good conductor of heat and electricity. And since it is a good conductor of heat and electricity, so it is highly demanded in electrical, chemical and metallurgic industries. Okay. Also students, it is ductile in nature. Aluminum is ductile in nature. That means it can be compressed, or cut this word. That means it can be pressed, it can be hammered and converted into thin sheets without cracking. So this is the characteristic, or these are the characteristics of aluminium. First of all, it is a very good conductor of heat and electricity. It is very strong as well as light in weight, and then it is ductile in nature. So I hope you understood the characteristics of aluminium. Now students, let me tell you that where aluminium is found in our country. So students, aluminium is found in Amarkantak plateaus. As you can see on the map of India, Amarkantak plateau is there. So here aluminium is found. That is, first it is found in Amarkantak plateau. That is in the border of Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh. As you can see, this is the border of Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh. So here we have Amarkantak plateau. So here aluminium is found. Also it is found in Mackall Hills. Now where is Mackall Hills? It is in Chhattisgarh. So it means this Chhattisgarh region, basically aluminium is found. and also it is found in the plateau region of Bilaspur, Katni. Okay, so it is found in the Bilaspur, Katni region also. And let me tell you that Odisha is the largest producer of aluminium in our country. Please remember that Odisha is the largest producer of aluminium in our country. Now, where in Odisha? In Koraput district. There are Koraput mines, and in those mines aluminium is processed and produced. So I hope that you understood all the points related to bauxite and aluminium. Okay, they are related. Because why they are related? Because bauxite is the ore of aluminium. From bauxite only aluminium is produced. That is why they are related to each other. Okay. Now students, as you have understood all the points related to aluminium, now I shall tell you a story about it. You must have heard about Emperor Napoleon. So I am going to tell you the story of Emperor Napoleon with regard to aluminium. You know, when this aluminium was discovered, then Emperor Napoleon, he was very fascinated and attracted towards aluminium. Why he was so much attracted? Because of the qualities of aluminium, because it was very light in weight, it was very strong. So he was very much attracted towards this mineral, that is aluminium. And you know, he was so attracted and fascinated that he used to serve food to his most honorable guests in the utensils made up of aluminium. And you know, not only this, the less honorable guests, they were not served in aluminium utensils, rather they were served in gold utensils. So he was so much fascinated and attracted towards aluminium, towards this metal. And not only this, the hooks and buttons of his dress, whose dress? The hooks and buttons of King or Emperor Napoleon, it was made up of aluminium. He was so much fascinated towards this mineral. But students, soon it lost its importance, as after 30 years it became very common. It became so common that even the beggars, they had bowls made up of aluminium. Why it lost its importance? Because it was very cheap, and secondly it was readily available. So that is why aluminium soon lost its importance. So I hope you understood this story of aluminium with regard with I hope you understood the story of Emperor Napoleon with regard to aluminium, how much he was attracted and fascinated towards this mineral. Okay, so I hope that all the points related to this mineral is clear to everybody. Now students, we shall move to the next topic, that is non-metallic. Now students, we shall move to the next topic, that is non-metallic minerals and rock minerals. Now I will explain you about the non-metallic minerals and rock minerals. Students, let me come to non-metallic minerals. Now what do you understand by non-metallic minerals? See, from the term only you can understand the meaning. Non-metallic minerals means the minerals that do not have metallic element in them, or that do not have metallic content in them. Those minerals are called as non-metallic minerals. And the example of non-metallic mineral is mica. Mica is one of the examples of non-metallic minerals. So now let's come to mica, that what is mica, where it is used, why it is used, and where it is found. So students, let me tell you that mica is one of the best insulators. Yes, it is known as one of the best insulators, and that is why it is highly demanded. It is in great demand in electronic industries because of its dielectric strength, low power loss factor, insulating properties, and resistance to high plates. So that is why mica is in great demand in the electronic industries, because of the qualities of mica. Please remember that mica is a non-metallic mineral. That means it is a mineral that do not That means mica is a mineral that does not contain metallic element in it. Okay. Students, mica is made up of a series of plates or leaves, and you know, it is so thin that it can easily split into sheets. You know, it is very thin. It is so thin that thousands of mica sheets can be kept just up to a few centimeters high. You know, it is so thin. That is why it is in great demand. And you know, it can be of different colors. For example, it can be clear, it can be black, green, red, yellow or brown. So mica can be of different colors. Now let me explain you that where mica is found. So mica is found in the northern edge of Chota Nagpur Plateau, in the Koderma, Gaya, Hazaribagh belt of Jharkhand. This Hazaribagh belt, it is in Jharkhand. Then Ajmer, where is Ajmer? It is in Rajasthan. Then it is found in Nellore mica belt of Andhra Pradesh. Where is Nellore mica belt? It is in Andhra Pradesh, as you can see on the map. So these states, they have been marked, as you can see here. So you need to remember that where a particular mineral is found. States are very important. You need to remember these states properly and carefully. So I hope that mica is clear to everybody. Now students, let's move to the rock mineral, and in rock mineral I am going to explain you about limestone, that what is limestone and why it is used and where limestone is found. Now students, if I talk about limestone, then let me tell you that limestone is a rock mineral and it is found in sedimentary rocks. Now what do you understand by sedimentary rocks? You have already studied about sedimentary rocks. Sedimentary rocks are formed when the igneous rocks, they are broken into small pieces or small fragments or sediments, and then they are layered. Then the layered part or the layered rocks, they are called as the sedimentary rocks. Now, so limestone is found in sedimentary rocks, and you know, it is this limestone, it is a rock that is composed of calcium carbonates or calcium and magnesium carbonate. So you need to remember that what is limestone composed of. So limestone is composed of calcium carbonates or calcium and magnesium carbonates. Okay. Now what is the use of limestone, or where is limestone used? So students, limestone is very important. Now why limestone is important? Because it is essential for smelting iron ore in the blast furnace. So limestone is used in the blast furnace for smelting iron ore. Next, it is the basic raw material for cement industry. Now limestone is very important in making cement. See, while cement is manufactured, limestone is mixed with it. That is why limestone is considered as an important raw material in the cement manufacturing industry. Okay. Now let's come to the areas, the states where limestone is found. So basically limestone is found in Madhya Pradesh, Andhra Pradesh, Rajasthan, Gujarat, Tamil Nadu and many more states. And in many more states limestone is found. So I hope that till here points are clear to everybody. So students, I have explained you about the ferrous minerals as well as about the non-ferrous minerals. So I hope that both ferrous, non-ferrous, non-metallic and rock minerals, these minerals are clear to everybody. Okay. Now students, let's come to the next topic, and the next topic is hazards of mining. That means what are the negative effects, the impacts of mining. See, definitely mining also has negative effects. It has impacts. So I am going to explain you this topic with the help of two dimensions. First, impact on miners, and second dimension is impact on the environment. So first let's start with the first dimension, that is impact on miners. Now students, what do you understand by miners? Miners refers to the people who work in mines. So the people who work in mines are called as miners. So first I'll explain you that what is the impact of mining on the miners. See, first impact is health issue. So the miners, they have to face a lot of health issues. Now why they have to face health issue and how they have to face different health issues? See, that because of the dust and noxious fumes they inhale, and noxious fumes means the poisonous gases, the harmful gases, the toxic gases or vapor that they inhale. So that inhaling makes them vulnerable to several pulmonary diseases. Pulmonary diseases means related to lungs and other parts of the respiratory system. So these people, the miners, they are more prone to the diseases because of the dust and the toxic gases that are inhaled by them. So this causes health problems. This is the first hazard of mining. Now the second one, risk of collapsing of mine roof. Students, I have explained you about rat hole mining and about shaft mining. Both are nearly the same. In shaft mining, what happens? A tunnel is created and that tunnel is put inside, and along with that tunnel the miners also, they have to go inside along with the heavy machineries in order to extract the minerals. What happens? Sometimes the mine roof, they may collapse, landslide may be there, and if that situation happens, then there will be very less chance of survival. So there is a lot of, so in a way they risk their lives. Okay, so this is also one hazard of mining, that if the rooftop will collapse, if the mine top will collapse, then this will definitely not only affect them, that they may also collapse, they may also die. So this is the second hazard of mining. Next we have inundation and fire in coal mines. Inundation means when water is collected or gathered. See, sometimes what happens during flood, the flood water may enter the mines. It may harm the people, the miners that are inside. Suppose a miner is working in the coal mine, and suddenly what happens? Flood water or rainwater comes inside the mine, then that will affect them definitely. In case of fire, see, there is a probability of fire in coal mines. If fire breaks out, then there is a very less chance of survival. They'll have to face several issues. So these are the impacts of mining on the miners. That means they are not safe, they are prone to diseases, they are not at all safe, their life is at risk. So these are the impacts or hazardous effects on the miners because of mining process. So I hope the first dimension is clear to everybody. Now students, let me move to the second dimension. So students, the second dimension is impact on environment. Now I'll explain you that how mining impacts the environment, or what are the negative impacts of environment due to mining. First of all, the water sources get contaminated. Now how the water sources get contaminated because of mining? See, if a mine is near some water body like river, pond, lake, anything, then definitely that mine will affect the quality of water in that water body. So the quality of water bodies get ruined, it gets spoiled. So whenever a mine is there near a water body, it will definitely impact the quality of water. So this is the first issue. Then dumping of waste and slurry. See, what do you understand by slurry? I already explained you that slurry is a semi-liquid material. See, when minerals are extracted then only minerals are not taken out. Along with the minerals, a huge quantity of waste and slurry is also taken out. Okay, and that waste, that slurry, that is dumped either on land or in the river or some water bodies. So this leads to degradation of land, soil, and it causes water pollution or river pollution. So these are the negative effects of mining on the environment. So I hope that this topic is clear to everybody. The students, in the next topic I'll be explaining you about conservation of minerals. Okay, till then, thank you so much and stay safe.